That can set up now for the DPS tools of the Zion, the Cassiopeia, whereas an MKOI side, some side lane, that can be answered here with the Rise, but definitely wanting to play that front to back with OPLoLReplay threatening on the front.
Waiting for the minions to at least push up as far as they can so they don't see him early. JoJo without that flash from Razork into the point and click stun. It's done. First blood. Fnatic. Especially if it's an early level 6, you catch somebody off guard with an early ultimate. But now it's MKOI invading the jungle. Razork trying to clear his blue buff here, as now it's a flash engage. Razork, remember, he already used his flash to make the play earlier, but now JoJo gets his revenge. MKOI, nice, seizing the opportunity there. Ward dropped in the Dragon Pit there from Fnatic, just to keep an eye on it, just to make sure they're not going to try to sneak that one away after seeing Razork show up down here, but instead it's the mid lane. That's your target. Beautifully done from OPLoLReplay and Alvaro to set it up for JoJo to knock it down. Kill number 2 for the Rise, as Mickey X wanted to try to get something back here with his Alistar, but he just doesn't have the chance to do it. And here's the thing, Dagda. Yep, they put the ward in the Dragon Pit. Yep, they know that MKOI's taking it. Nope, they have nothing to say about it because their mid laner is dead. He's just making his way back out onto the map right now, and JoJo and OPLoLReplay have plenty of damage to be able to secure this first objective. So that one's done. And nicely on top of that, if you note in the top left, it's still 50 seconds until the Void Grubs spawn. So
yeah, Fnatic really want to try and break this, but MKOI in a good spot will push mid and top, and they're going to start up the objective. At least get one. Looks like they don't want to contest for more.
First grub already secured there with the smite, and now they're going to go in. Supreme display of talent onto Mickey. He's already down. Feet of Warfare claimed by MKOI. Razork wants to get away, but here comes the Realm Warp to seal his fate. He'll warp straight into the grave. It's a double kill for the Zeri, for Supa. It's a 4-1 game with a 2,000 gold lead in every single grub.
Fight them. MKOI get pushed mid. JoJo's able to isolate Upset from being able to join in the fight, and in a 3v4, MKOI take down Fnatic.
This is a rough game state here for Fnatic now. Hex flash over the wall though from Mickey. Here comes your Grand Starfall from Razork. Supa's gonna die for sure. Shut down for Razork means Fnatic at least gets something back there to staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, still, the kill going to Razork isn't ideal. They would have liked to have given that to Oscarinen to try and have something, but Mickey gone too far forward.
Yeah, Mickey very far forward into enemy territory. The Alistar's got to be careful here. OPLoLReplay does a lot of damage on this Qiyana. Oscarinen returning a little bit of fire, just trying to create an escape route here for his support. But now Oscarinen locked down. JoJo cannot arrive in time, however. No flash available on that Rise to try to get in there for the extra damage. Mickey down to 50 HP. Brother, you have got to get out of here. Practically double stacked wave into the turret here, into the tier 1. Wants to get this first play. Does a lot of damage to Oscar, but now got to be a little bit careful. Here's public execution. JoJo taking a ton of damage from the initial Ambessa burst. Teleport coming in to try to save JoJo, but he cannot stay alive long enough. Nice pickup there from Fnatic.
And a much needed pickup for Fnatic. I mean, for Fnatic, they need someone to try and face check up, but I don't know who does.
All right, top side, neither one of these top laners has their teleport available to join the bot side fight, so it is just going to be a 4v4, unless you can try to get Sion out of the lane and use the ulti, but no, the Dragon is already secured.
It does feel a bit bizarre to be trying to play around Poby, though, in this sort of regard, because one of the things I love about Pantheon and Ambessa is that setup, but Mickey wants to be that setup.
Yeah, Mickey trying to set it up for the Cassiopeia, gets trapped in the Rune Prison here, as JoJo wants to buy a little time with the Phase Rush. OPLoLReplay's coming around from the side. JoJo wanted to use the Realm Warp to get away, but he's trapped in the Petrifying Gaze. Redemption coming down, but JoJo is already dead. OPLoLReplay cannot arrive in time. Nicely done from Fnatic to get another pick onto JoJo. That's 3 of their 4 kills. Supa on that Zeri like you're talking about. 700 ahead of Upset. The Rift Herald has spawned, and neither side wants to let the other one have it, but it is Fnatic first to the scene. They've got it down to about half HP already. Oscarinen here off to the side. OPLoLReplay looking to distract him, as now MKOI wants to move forward. Fnatic all grouped up around the pit. Alvaro going in here with a quickness, as immediately Razork going to lose about half HP, but now Alvaro is all trapped up. It's the first kill going over to Fnatic. Razork still low, but he ain't dead yet. Supreme display of talent, going to find multiple targets here, but everybody on Fnatic still hanging on for now. Finally, Razork is going to die. Upset and Poby still staying alive for now, as Oscarinen is down to 200 HP. MKOI are cutting off the escapes, and they are cutting off the hopes of Fnatic. Upset and Mickey trying to get themselves away back through the Tribe Rush. OPLoLReplay and JoJo on the chase. Mickey with the flash over the wall, but Supa is ready to tumble right after him. Upset, the last man standing. He's going to summon up the Herald to try to get away. Maybe try to take the taxi home. A little bit more damage might just be able to stop him, but no. Upset will use the Herald to be the only man on Fnatic who survived.
MKOI played that fight so incredibly well, but Razork finds Elyoya.
Yeah, Elyoya sticking around a little bit too long, perhaps. Dodges the Comet Spear there. Largest it's been all game, up to almost 3,500 as the Herald makes a very long walk back down the top lane. And this could be a very long journey back to the fountain, although it might actually be for Imkoi, as Fnatic is ready to try to punish this invade. Alvaro first to die, as Mirwin now locked up by the Blade Caller, and it looks like he's got nowhere to go but a gray screen. Does try to pop the ulti there, is interrupted by Mickey X. And Fnatic continue the chase after the Scion. He's pretty tanky, but surely they're able to catch up to him here. Decimating Smash to try to make a little bit of extra distance, but no, it's Headbutt Pulverized. And with a shutdown going over to Upset, that's exactly what Fnatic was hoping for.
Imkoi just tossed that gold lead out the window to spawn. That was halving their gold lead just immediately off a bad play.
Oh, but the lightning crash, it's gonna be Mickey X the target now, as Razork immediately gives his life over right next to it. Fnatic, they get an amazing punish. They force Imkoi into a bad spot after Imkoi wanted to get more in their own jungle, but then Fnatic is possessed by the same greed. They invade the Imkoi jungle, they get caught out, and the damage is just massive. Now this dragon that you're talking about, that could have been some breaks, slammed on the soul stacking, instead is just one step closer to Imkoi, securing a very early soul.
Lars, what in the name of God is going on?
This is a bit of a crazy game, my friend. We've got 18 kills in 18 minutes, but every objective sans the Herald has gone to Imkoi.
And as you say, Imkoi is still in a very strong position. They're now getting access to this bottom side and starting to crack open the turrets in their favor. And with Jojo having this lead,
Poby's Cassiopeia, 4 stacks on his Rod of Ages, fully charged Seraph's Embrace. Over on the other side, it is 8 stacks for Jojo's Rise on his Roa, as Elyoya with a supreme display of talent right back into the wall. Razork thought he was fighting for a red buff. He was fighting for his life, and he'll lose that fight. Imkoi, they take away the enemy jungler from the map for the next 27 seconds, and now they'll just easily rotate up towards that top lane, take down the remaining tier 1 turret from Fnatic, pick a couple of flower petals along the way. They'll place him on the grave of Razork, and they'll celebrate a 5,500 gold lead. But it's really jungle and AD carry where the 2 largest advantages find themselves. Elyoya sidestepping out of the way of the public execution, and with Ambessa not able to join up. And the same type of objective for y'all in the LEC that has been for us in the LTA throughout the year, which is if he survives until 21 minutes without somebody trying to attack him, it's pretty surprising.
Which is kind of rude, if you think about it. You know?
He's just not welcome on the Rift, except this time around, because they got the free pick right beforehand, there's just no way for Fnatic to try to challenge, escape another death at the hands of the supreme display of talent. But the problem is, Dagda and Rod, fully charged, fully stacked, still 2 stacks to go on the Rod of Ages for Poby. And this is what I was talking about earlier, the difference in completing that in time. Razor going for the flash engage there onto Supa, who makes the distance and gets away. Supreme display of talent, not gonna get a whole lot, but Alvaro's got the quickness to start the fight off in earnest, as Oscar's already down. Mickey's struck alone in the backside of the enemy lines, as Poby's gonna be melted by Elyoya. Razor can't stand any longer either, and Fnatic fall to pieces again. It's only Upset left alive. Try as he might, he can't win the fight. Fnatic are gonna find themselves aced before the Dragon Soul, and Imkoi have got this one all sewed up.
Fnatic are just too far behind when it comes to the gold. Even if you're not getting full value from the ultis, Alvaro sets up that engage, sets up the turnaround, and Imkoi sweeping through Fnatic.
Imkoi, they get themselves their clean ace. I could see the desperation. And let's take another look here. Just trying to play for the 2% chance, because otherwise it's a 1, right? And now
where does
Oscar
Health go?
Yeah, I don't think this Ambessa is long for this world. That is not Ambessa from Arcane, my friend. That one is, that one's out of here.
Well, to be fair, Arcane didn't go too well for her either, you know?
Okay, all right, you got me there. Sorry for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. I guess that might be a possibly inferable spoil. Elyoya and Supa to kill the Baron off. Mirwin and Jojo can just cover these flanks, make sure nobody from Fnatic can approach.
But here we go, one more play. Can Fnatic do it?
Well, there's already a ward right where the unsealed teleport was coming in from Mickey. Jojo flashes to the other side, but Mickey's ready to flash after him. Alvaro coming in to cover for his mid laner as Jojo is still alive now. Fnatic continue trying to press the assault, but now Mirwin is charging in from behind. A supreme display of talent right back into the wall. Fnatic tried, Fnatic died. There's no way to stop Imkoi now. Oscar Rinnan's the only one standing. It's a double kill for Elyoya there. An ace apiece to end the game, 24-7 with an 18,000 gold lead. What'll be a 20,000 gold lead, I would have to think, by the end of this one. We'll see if those towers give it to us. It'll be just shy, but it won't matter. 27 minutes into the game, MKOI slam game number 1. Slam the counter pick. Show us what you've got. Kassadin, you want to be able to have easy access to CC to lock him down. Kai'Sa doesn't have CC. Rumble has a slow. Jarvan has CC, but you have to be able to hit the EQ combo. Kassadin, level 16 with Ultimate Hunter on top of the items he already likes to build is just going to be it's Earth mode Kassadin, right? Yeah. Like this could be a problem if Fnatic allows it to go late, but immediate flash stun into the wall coming out from Mickey. Alvaro down to 50 HP. He's going to die. It's first blood to Fnatic at 1 minute and 45 seconds into the game. Mickey X is bloodthirsty. You become a real champion and you can start at least trading back a little bit.
Yeah, it does give Fnatic a lot of windows of opportunity to be aggressive in the early stage, and that's why I like Razork's pathing here. He's going to sneak into the backline. Supa already low, and Razork's here.
Supa at 200 HP. He has Hot Cocoa behind him, but it's not very well charged. Supa down to 100, flashes away, but Razork with a flash follow. Razork gets the second kill of the game for Fnatic. Dagda, it is not even 3 minutes on the clock.
Great setup anywhere if he tries to interact, and Alvaro actually.
Yeah, Alvaro is going to find a level 4 Razork waiting on him. This Bard is level 2. It is very difficult to deal with a Jarvan as a level 2 Bard. And under the turret goes Razork, back to the fountain, goes Alvaro. Fnatic claim the feat of warfare, not even 5 minutes into the game. They are 2,000 gold ahead of MKOI. The 2,000 gold lead for Fnatic, the total control over the bottom lane, upset level 5, just gonna rotate over and help Razork take this thing down. You can see there when Plasma procs, it procs for about 500 damage. It does quite a lot to the neutral objectives. And so then that leaves Razork the opportunity to just finish off the smite, take the Drake, makes his way up towards the top lane. MKOI trying to approach towards this grub area here. Razork gonna go ahead, use his combo plus his smite to take the first grub. Elyoya wants to step in. MKOI's goal here seems to grab at least one grub here. They do so with Elyoya's smite, but now they're trying to get back away. Alvaro wants to flash in the magical journey. The Cataclysm wall was on top of the normal wall, so he could still get away with it. Fnatic now trying to get back as Elyoya goes in for the Cyclone, but he only finds the knock-up onto Oscar. Now Razork's going to be the next target, and Supa's on the board. MKOI, they steal away one of the grubs. The third grub is still alive, and they get the kill afterwards, despite their disadvantages in the game so far. MKOI find a decent play there, but now Elyoya's in some danger. Tries to jump back in on Oscar, but Elyoya sticking around a little bit greedy with that positioning.
That was crazy. It would have sidestepped so much of that damage from Mirwin and just outlast him until he could get this done.
From MKOI, so this is nothing but a win for Fnatic.
Yeah, Oscar didn't have to flash to get away from that Cyclone there on the top side, but that is something where Oscar in the past has got caught out on those plays. So having that flash keeps him safe, means that Fnatic can get the Dragon. And at the moment, there's no real response, but there are several members of MKOI here.
Okay, let's see if MKOI can get something else done. They are bringing up Alvaro to maybe Tempered Fate the turret, but now as Oscar's just going to take the opportunity to push the wave down here in the bottom lane, Oscar looked like he was thinking about maybe moving up towards the Herald. Instead, realizes he won't be able to reach the objective in time, so just goes back down to split push instead. Herald is secured by the side of MKOI. Okay, Herald summoned as the Dragon spawns. The Herald, they're trying to get the charge on it. Looks like that's all you're going to get, but now the fight has already broken out. Poby taking a little bit of damage here as Tempered Fate catches out the Fnatic mid laner, but a nice keeper's verdict to knock JoJo away from the fight means there's not enough follow-up damage. Equalizer down on a Supa follow-up there from Razork. Killer Instinct jumps in, and Supa's already down. Oscar Innan's cooking Mirwin. Alvaro's already dead to the Acathian rain, and when it rains, it pours. Fnatic are bringing it down on MKOI. A double kill, back to upset, and it's an absolute slaughter for Fnatic. They are going to roll over the fight. They can then immediately translate that into taking the Dragon. They take the tier 1 turret mid. They take the tier 1 turret bot. They have the wave shoved into the tier 1 turret top.
And now Fnatic going to be looking down the barrel of that Infernal Soul plus position now to take this top lane tower. So much gold has been injected into them.
Now as we crest the 20-minute mark into the game, and it looks like Fnatic are ready to just start it up. MKOI hanging out nearby, Jojo and Upset, the only two from either side that aren't here just yet. Upset going to join up with the rest of the team now, as Jojo is still making his way over. The Otacon is dying pretty quickly. Scryer Trinket going to find Fnatic there, but the Otacon's already going to be secured. Keeper's Verdict knocks the enemy jungler out of the fight, and Imkoi took too long standing around watching the Otacon get taken. Mirwin's already down. Razor traps everybody in the Cataclysm. Tempered Fate to try to slow up the follow-up, but it ain't going to matter. I would have to think. Elyoya is spinning, but Imkoi ain't winning. Fnatic, they're going to find a kill on the enemy jungler next. They got the Otacon. They got a 2-for-1 trade after. They're chasing after Imkoi. I don't think they're going to find anybody else, but they already got what they came for.
Now making it work against their LEC counterparts, it looks like, as Imkoi stepping in early to this river, hoping to push Fnatic back.
Okay, slam into the wall, comes out, equalizer over the top. Elyoya going to be targeted here as soon as he gets out of the stasis. Probably going to try to spin. Redemption comes in, looking to heal him, but it's Upset into the back line here with the Killer Instinct. Super trying to get away. Razork on the chase. Elyoya first to die. Razork might get traded, but no! Jojo has no damage. He's dead now as well. The Arcane Storm is half as big as the enemy jungle, and Fnatic get 4 for nothing.
That is exactly what Fnatic needed. They wipe the fight. They will take the soul. And after they've taken the life of Imkoi, they might just take this game as well.
8,000 gold. Infernal Soul. 25 flowers. Not sure what Imkoi does.
Yeah, if that isn't a MasterCard priceless moment right there, I don't know what it is. With the soul and everything taken, Fnatic just get to continue pushing. This feels so night and day for game number 1.
More EXP and he will hit level 16. A level 16 Kassadin might be the only chance for Imkoi to try to come back into this game. There it is, Jojo Pune level 16, but the Baron is already down to half HP, and Fnatic still commands a 9,000 lead with an Infernal Soul. Imkoi on the approach, Tempered Fate doesn't hit anyone. Baron at 2,000 HP and it's already going to get secured by Fnatic. Mirwin trying to escape now. Razork still pushing forward. Poby's also got a stasis. Keep your eyes on that armband. If Imkoi try to turn, it can't be onto him, as now Mirwin wants to drag Razork forward. They're going after the Fnatic jungler. He's already dead, but he cost the Cataclysm before he died, and that means Imkoi's going with them. Upset is dominating. Supa's out of the picture. Fnatic end up getting a 2-for-1. They've got the Baron, they've got the Soul, they've got the lead, they've got their eyes on the Nexus, and that first inhibitor turret is not gonna stop them. Mid lane inhibitor about to die next, as Mirwin, Elyoya, and Jojo will try to defend. Jojo using the ultis, trying to get the stacks up, throws forward a little bit of damage, has to again ult backwards, trying to escape the gravity field. Mirwin burns down, and Upset is godlike. First Nexus turret down to half HP. Elyoya just trying to juke him, maybe make him think he's going in. Alvaro's back alive, but it's a level 10 Bard. He can't do a whole lot about this. Tempered Fate's not even available to cast. The minions continuing to fire into the turrets. Supa back alive now too, into the back line. Goes Imkoi. Jojo wants Upset, but Upset's having none of it. Imkoi, they couldn't scale in time. Fnatic ran the game from minute number 1, and even faster than they lost the first one. They'll win the second one. We're going to game 3.
And I love this rotation from Imkoi, because we were talking about the Orin is a little bit tough to play for Fnatic into the Braum, but I think it's still incredibly strong just for providing that team fight and setup that you want.
See on your screen right now, that last game, we've got some game 1 versus game 2. This is the games that each team respectively won. It was Fnatic getting first blood in both of them, but now we've got the jungler showing up down here in the bottom side. Alvaro trying to get away, but Wind becomes lightning coming out from Elyoya. It's first blood over to Supa with the condemn into the wall on Razork. Elyoya might die, but Supa wants to get one back. He tumbles and he finds the shot, but Upset is about to grab a double kill for himself. Both AD carries now with 2 kills. Oh! Mirwin nearly solo kills Oscar as the Ornn into the Jax right after. The team built around this Vayne is able to provide. But the other thing that I'm looking at, Ornn makes that volcanic rock appear. Jojo makes the entire Weaver's wall. Trundle even makes a pillar. There's a lot of stuff for Vayne's Condemn to knock people into. Happy to start up the Void Grubs here. Going to be jumping on those shortly after they spawn. Mickey is around the area, going to step forward and at least see what he's up to. Elyoya has secured the first grub, so even if Fnatic wants to overload this area, there's no way for them to grab all 3. Mickey just going to kill the little grub mites there.
We're going to have Upset continue to be able to shove these waves in, and Supa approaching later.
Okay, now bottom side, Jojo gets shuffled back by Poby. No flash available on the Taliyah. Remember, that already had to be used last time Poby gets some good damage onto the Imkoi mid laner, but Jojo continues looking to make his exit. Poby with a flash forward. Feat of Warfare claimed by Fnatic. Poby with the solo kill down in the bottom lane as Oscar Renan survives with 200 HP up here on the top side. Imkoi's not going to get anything back here just yet. Oscar Renan down very low, and he's executed by the ultimate of Elyoya. The counter-strike he was hoping would be able to keep him alive there, but Xin Zhao ulti with just enough burst damage to take him down. Alvaro, again, just doing what the Braum was drafted to do and protecting this Vayne.
Yeah, the thing is, though, on that play, because Fnatic had just got the solo kill for Poby on the bottom side.
Good sidestep, though. Not getting tagged by the Winter's Bite means he doesn't have to use the crash down defensively over the wall to make sure that he stays safe. Shattering Strike does not hit. Alvaro now could be in a little bit of danger, but the Glacial Fissure right back onto Mickey. He's the target. Elyoya goes in, and Jojo Pune secures the kill. Now Razork flashes over the wall, trying to stay alive. Upset, stunned back by the Condemn. Supa's on the chase. Elyoya wants to hit him, but the wind becomes lightning, and Supa flashes forward. Upset's out of there, and Supa just goes in on him.
Supa forcing the duel versus Upset, and almost catches him off guard. I think Upset was expecting Supa to chase down. Oh wait, Razork caught as well?
Yeah, Razork stepped a little bit too far forward. He seismic shoved back into the unraveled earth, just disrespecting Imkoi's control over the area. And no, Patience isn't ticking down quite yet. He's at the very edge of his Patience, Dagda, as Mickey continues to take a little bit more damage. Supa finally arrives. Dragon's finally going to lose some Patience there, but ultimately secured by Elyoya.
To back him up as well means he should be fine, but with Rift Herald here,
oh, nice pillar coming out from Razork. Immediately pops the Subjugate as well. Supa is the target, and Fnatic needs a little bit more damage to secure the kill. Mickey wants to go for the Magnet Storm, but Mickey dying gives triumph over to Supa. Down with the enemy support dead. Imkoi will say thank you very much. Collect a free Herald.
and it's Fnatic members just dying at unopportune times that are causing these issues. We get Oscar Renan before the Void Grub's dying. Now we're getting the kill onto Mickey just as the Rift Herald spawns, and Oscar Renan might fall afterwards.
Oscar trying to get away from this one. Elyoya and Jojo moving together. Nice placement there on the seismic shove. Counter-strike trying to turn it around a little bit, but there's nothing to turn around in a 2v1 when Talia, but a red buff traded for a kill, now going to be traded for a tier 1 turret. That's not enough.
And I don't know if Oscar Renan's allergic to his flash button this game, but kind of needs to start using that a little bit more. As Fnatic now on the bottom side.
Fnatic's on the bottom side. They're trying to secure this first turret. They want to try to win the Feats of Warfare with this. However, the Herald was already used on the top side, and the Feats are going to go over to Imkoi. Now they're still trying to beat the turret down in enough time to take the fight. Poby summons up the Sun Disc. It just gives him enough HP to survive. Supa lives, and those are just the heartbreakers. Everybody who's ever played League has had one of those before, but now Imkoi potentially going for an invade. Fnatic maybe with a collapse, but no, it's Jojo riding the wall straight in. It's Oscar dead first. Mickey wants to get away, but the Weaver's wall fades, and Mickey just barely has enough distance to get it out of that one, but it's a 4,500 gold lead for Imkoi. They want to make it 5 and take down this tier 1 turret. They've got the wave, they've got the man advantage. Here comes True Shot Barrage. Real nice damage onto 3 with that one, but still the pressure keeps coming in as Razork's got to be careful. Seismic shove again. He's getting juggled around by the Glacial Fissure. One more hit will kill him, but he stays alive with the Subjugate for now. Mirwin bowls him over the Orn Horn, and Imkoi have 10 kills.
Imkoi played that so well around Poby's range. Poby TP'd in and was dying to get that knockback with the Emperor's Divide, but he's not giving it, and now he's pushing forward.
And we got a TP coming in. Mickey wanted to step forward to make something happen, but now he's going to be in some danger. Jojo takes the kill, but Elyoya is going to be very low. Finally a shutdown, finally a kill, back to Fnatic. Upset's taking the credit, and Oscar gets another shutdown, this time onto Jojo. Supa and Alvaro trying to disengage. So Fnatic happy to shrink this gold lead here a little bit, come back into the game slightly. It was up to almost 5K, now down to 3.5, but it is still a very large advantage for Imkoi, who will collect their second Drake of the game.
This is a bit of a mistake from Fnatic though. Fnatic failing on the cross map, failing in the fights, and might just fail at making it one step further at Worlds.
To simply make a good play of their own and get back into the game.
Well, the problem is at this stage, there's so many threats on Imkoi as Mirren finds Mickey.
And Mickey's going to step forward, goes in for the Magnet Storm, but he hasn't found Supa here just yet. Supa going back over the wall as Oscar Renan's going to get stunned up, blown up, shot down. He's out. Fnatic lose their top laner to the Otacon pit.
Oh, it's phase 2.
Has joined back up. Mickey's got to be careful as he walks away from this one. Razork can't get anywhere near it, and Otacon on. The ornaments are worth about 800, 900 gold each, so you can just go ahead and add 1,600, 1,800 extra gold to the already 4.8 thousand gold lead as Mickey tries to escape. And Alvaro and Supa have arrived. That Rel is shot down in the air. Jojo picks up kill 3.
Yeah, at this stage, Mickey just trying to get out onto the map to see if he can do anything to catch MKOI out. But this game is already slipping very heavily in favor of MKOI.
And it looks like here in game number 3, they're set to do it again. Fnatic moving forward, but Razork is immediately met by Alvaro and Supa. The rest of MKOI not here quite yet, but a nice horn onto 3. Mickey's gonna die before he can cast a spell. Now Razork's trying to get away, but he's exhausted. Killed by Jojo. The remaining 3 players of Fnatic try to escape, but MKOI's in hot pursuit. Sundisk at least going to buy enough time to stop the MKOI assault.
And if Fnatic can't find these picks, they're just running more and more gold into the hands of Jojo, into the hands of Supa. And now they respond 20 seconds until that next dragon is up, and MKOI get to spend their gold. Fans are going to be cheering loud tonight if MKOI can put that nail into the coffin.
They're on Soul Point now with a 7,500 gold lead. They want a couple of more kills. They'll at least force the flash out of Razork, but the flash isn't enough. They want blood. Elyoya takes the kill. Supa firing some extra bolts towards Oscar Venom, but the counter-strike keeps him healthy.
It blocks up, upsets ultimate, and the fight begins.
All right, teleport from Mickey coming around from the side. Oscar in the middle of everybody, but immediately Poby is dead as the fight begins. Supa's under pressure, but he isn't dead yet. The rest of the team peels beautifully. Fnatic knew they had to try something, but it just wasn't enough. MKOI pick up 3 for 3. They're gonna take the Baron. That Baron just melts in the face of Ginsu's Bork Vein. So even if Fnatic managed to have a miraculous defense inside their base, they've still got a lot of tasks ahead of them to have any chance coming back into this game. They are now relying on some sort of mistake from MKOI, some kind of a misplay, some kind of an overdive, because it's just so hard to play from this much of a disadvantage. Razork stepping forward, pops the ulti just to try to survive, but the damage from the Vayne is so much. Razork, one more auto attack from Supa would have killed him, and he barely hobbles away, but now that's Trundle without an ulti, trying to team fight whenever they try to defend.
And it's the towers that are going to fall. This Baron is exactly what you need for this short-range composition to take them down.
Now Poby about to get stunned up there by the concussive blows. Supa's unstoppable. Poby's down. Mickey's about to join him. It's 2 kills already over to MKOI, and Oscar's lost his counter-strike. He'll be 3rd to die. MKOI, it might have been a longer series than they would have hoped for. That second game might have been a little rough, but here in game number 3, they're showing they've got what it takes. Nexus turret's under fire. Razork about to die. They'll stun him up and beat him down just to make a statement. MKOI will emerge victorious from the LEC Civil War. They will make their way onto the Nexus. They will add insult to injury, looking to find the last kill here onto Upset. Mickey respawns and charges out. He immediately has to charge right back away into a black and white screen. MKOI, stay alive at Worlds. I like the Sivir, particularly when I look at Sivir, I look at how easy is the spell shield in the lane for the matchup. Rakan's grand entrance, you better not miss it. Chicken Pit ward in his jungle. Make sure that they don't have any eyes on him as those chickens spawn for the second time.
Oh, actually, great engage here.
Yeah, nice double knock-up coming out there from Trimby as Betty already had to use the barrier and the flash. Wants to get away. Morteos going forward, and it's first blood over to Brazil. VKS first on the board.
Huge win for VKS on the bottom side. Morteos getting off to a great start thanks to that engage from Trimby.
VKS side is around to contest, so that means they must be up to something somewhere else. That somewhere else is exactly where Betty and Woody are. So Betty's going to go ahead, just take the opportunity to go for a recall here. He'll buy the fully completed Phage, but he loses a lot of minions down there in the bottom lane. But at least PSG, in the meantime, they do not let this dive succeed, and they get all 3 grubs.
And this is a bit of a gamble from VKS. Giving 3 grubs to a 1-3-1 comp always feels a little bit scary, but it is a good investment in Morteus and saying, if we can get this lead on the Sivir, if we can play towards our team fighting strength and Betty just isn't in position to match, that's where we can come alive. Slow down and you're able to get this coal popped onto Betty. Suddenly he's matching Morteus significantly closer when it comes to gold, and VKS haven't really done anything with the lead.
And I always like to see champions with stacking items. Hold on, Desamas going forward. 3 talent strike, finds Karsa. Cyclone looking to turn it around. A lot of damage back into VKS, but it's not quite enough. VKS now turning their attention back over onto Maple. Betty rotates up for the bottom lane. Desamas going to be in some danger, and PSG have found the kill. Low HP on Karsa, but he's not dead yet. Bawal here in the front line, but Trimby's the target. Maple with a little bit more, but the overload does not hit. VKS won't get anybody back just yet. Trimby with a flash headbutt pulled, double seismic shove, beautiful moves coming out for the VKS support. Feet of Warfare claimed for the Brazilian squad as Miru wants another. Betty has been found in his own jungle. Miru gets him with the auto attack. Betty with a late flash. Now Aja's gonna die too. Karsa's about to die next. He flashes over the wall just to try to survive. VKS nearly aced him at 12 minutes.
Very different story for PSG Talon, who just haven't found that success in this early game.
Exactly. It was the Trimby pulverize and then Miru riding the Weaver's wall into the back line, setting up for the additional kill onto Betty. And I feel like Betty in that last fight just got a little greedy. Looks like Trimby's getting a little bit greedy now. Does end up getting ignited here. The redemption not really going to matter a whole lot as Trimby is already down. So a nice pickup there from PSG, punishing Trimby. Fight, and VKS are going to begin the Herald.
They're in a significantly stronger spot. PSG Talon ceded a lot of area of control. Karsa, though, looks like he might just be trying to sneak in to get the steal rather than take a full fight.
Yep, Karsa on the left. VKS control over the area for now. The wraparound is coming. Aja looking for his angle as Woody is already down. Morteus on a rampage. PSG wanted the pincer attack, but VKS was ready. Trimby going in again. Karsa's not fooling anybody with that clone. And now Maple's going to be your next target. Miru rides the blast cone over the wall, and Trimby's ready to keep on going. It's a beautiful 1, 2, 3 alley-oop. VKS on a killing spree again. 8-2 game. Rift Herald in their pocket. His flash, but even if he did, you're not going to get a chance to use it. Now the Herald's been summoned up in the mid lane, used to crash the tier 1 turret. Trimby's going to drive that one right into the tier 2. It's a 3,500 gold lead for VKS, and it's about to be 4K. As that tier 2 falls.
They've been out seeing if they can catch VKS if they don't sync their resets, and PSG are going.
Karsa wants the engage. Miru flashing away with a flash follow coming in from Karsa. Meanwhile, VKS with the counter attack over the wall. It's Betty and Woody looking to get away as Miru survives. Betty's first to die and Woody follows. There's no way you're killing Bawal as Karsa and Aja try to escape. Karsa's very low and another rock flies over the wall. Now Aja will be next to die with a decimating smash pulverized combo. Bawal's on a rampage for nothing for Brazil.
PSG thought they might have caught VKS slacking, but it's VKS expecting them to go for the play, and they catch them out as now. Trimby, does he end up finding Maple?
He does. Oh, Maple gets caught here. Now, Maple has his flash to try to get away. He has Realm Warp as well. We'll see if he can try to use it, but no. He thought maybe the cooldowns weren't there, but Trimby had another pulverize.
But it's VKS who are ready for it and catch them all out.
And one thing I noticed in that replay, it's the same thing that you pointed out in the previous Herald fight.
Now, third of the name for VKS. Bounties available for PSG Talon 20 minutes into the game, and Atakan has only just spawned. PSG a little nervous about that Atakan being taken. Bawal gets some damage put onto him.
Yeah, but he's Scion. He does not care even a little bit. 895 stacks there through Soul Furnace. Another public execution, another miss. Aja is just not hitting this critical spell on Ambessa, and Miru smells blood in the water. Aja smells honey fruits, and those might be able to get him away. Miru still continuing to use the speed bonus on the Talia. It's a solo kill for Miru. Aja dead for the third time this game. 0-3 and 0 on the Ambessa, not having the impact that PSG wants him to have, as VKS, now with their 7,000 gold lead, now with their soul point status, Miru arrives into the fight. Desamas jumping straight on in. It's going to be 2 more kills for VKS. Maple and Betty are the only 2 left alive. Betty's going to be knocked back with another beautiful seismic shove. Trimby wants another headbutt pulled. The rest of the team isn't there. Trimby's very low. Maple at least gets 1 more, but Bawal wants the last little bit of damage to take out the enemy mid laner. Bawal with a hammer to his rib cage shatters Maple and finds his way through the enemy enemy base. One more shield should hopefully keep him alive here, you would think. Aja's back, but he has no public execution. He can't try to stop Boal. He's shoved back again by Miru, and Aja loses 2/3 HP. It's a 9,000 gold lead. It's about to be an Otacon for VKS.
Where's this Vivocade been at Worlds? This is not the team that I expected to see here today. PSG Talon pushed Gen.G, pushed Hanwha Life, and it looked like VKS hadn't come alive all tournament long.
Have been playing wonderfully together so far this game, and I cannot give enough praises to Trimby's Alistar. 0, 2, and 17, a part of everything but one kill so far in this game. Going for the dive onto Aja now, and again, it's that 1-2 punch with Miru to set it up and knock it down. The only kill Trimby hasn't been a part of was Miru solo killing Aja up in the top lane back when all the fighting was going on bottom.
These aren't punches anymore, Flowers. These are haymaker after haymaker. PSG are dropping to the floor. It's a KO.
It's a bar fight, and PSG are stuck paying the tab. VKS are going to take a big swig of victory and push their way into the enemy base. That top lane inhibitor turret is already down. Inhibitor is the target, and that one will melt. Boal locking up Karsa, Maple, and Woody all on his own. Karsa with a defensive cyclone, but I don't think it's going to matter. Wind becomes lightning, and lightning strikes Karsa. Desamas takes the kill, and VKS might just be looking for the end of the game. They got super minions marching down the top lane. It's not like they can take Baron yet. He's not even on the Rift for another minute and a half, so they'll turn their attention over to the mid lane inhibitor turret. That one's going to crack. We'll see if they can take the inhibitor. There's 20 seconds on Karsa, but everybody else on PSG is alive. And
look, there's good deaths and then there's glorious deaths, and VKS are trending more towards the glorious.
It is a glorious game one for VKS indeed, as Boal jumps in behind Karsa. Miru's got plenty of damage. Woody wants the quickness, but he's quickly finding his way towards another lost team fight. Aja finally hits a public execution, but it's way too late. Betty's next to die. Boal 7 kills on the Scion leading the charge. Woody will be the final kill towards the ace. It's a triple for Morteus at the very end of the fight. 26-3. VKS will annihilate PSG in game number 1, and they are only 1 game away from moving on and staying alive at World.
Very strong when you hit that mid-game, able to answer for some of the damage that's coming through from PSG Talon, but crucially can keep himself safe from both the Aurora and that Jarvan.
Now he's waiting for Desamas to just check this brush again. I love this from Karsa. Another EQ combo. Desamas down to 200 HP. He's going to take the blast cone. Karsa making sure he doesn't step so close that he gets knocked the other direction. But now Desamas has been forced out of his own jungle. But Boal has got the wave shoved up. He's going to come in after Karsa. Karsa already used EQ. Karsa's in danger. He's down to 200 HP. Even if he tries to flash, Miru is waiting. Karsa initially with the big brain for the invade. He's going to step forward. Woody nearby, though, means it's so hard for Desamas to try to do anything. He wanted to throw the spear, see if maybe he could find something else. Desamas needs to try to get away. He throws up the shield. Desamas is down. Karsa takes the kill, makes this game a 1-1.
VKS knew that this was happening. Miru had started to roam over.
This is just to try to make sure he gets away from the Comet Spear. He would have lived anyway, but a bit of a panic there at the very end. Did not want to get caught out. The Dragon down to 400 HP, and now Trimby stepping in. Crash down, dodged by Betty there with a flash of his own. Morteus continues firing here with the Mystic shots. Trimby still looking to see if maybe he can get a little bit more lockup onto Woody, who wants to get away. Trimby with a shattering strike. Woody's about to die. Morteus takes the kill, and Desamas gets away. VKS get a kill, but PSG take the Drake.
Contest PSG as they move in towards these objectives. Even though they have, oh, hang on. Do they want to try?
For Pantheon here, since he can try to use this to set up a play, get a numbers advantage when you wouldn't think you'd have one, and try to get some sort of edge. As now the engage comes out from Trimby. Desamas and Miru ready to follow it up. Maple staying alive for now. Morteus needs a little bit of damage. He trades 1-for-1 with Maple. Trimby's going to get cooked up by Aja. Feet of Warfare claimed by VKS, but Trimby's about to die. Aja needs a little bit more damage, and he finds it. Now Miru's the one under pressure. Ornhorn summoned up by Boal. Aja in the back part of the pit, and he's going to drop now too. VKS VKS. They deny 3 grubs. They end up having a bloodbath, 2 for 2 in the fight. Has their first item fully done, so Karsa's in a great spot to be able to lead the charge and continue playing aggressively. Trimby with a crash down, buffers through the Zenith Blade. Now defensive Magnet Storm having to flash away, but he's trapped inside the Cataclysm. Trimby's down. Nice pick, PSG.
Right before the dragon spawns as well, PSG get exactly what they want, and this was more what people were expecting coming into this series. Karsa dictating the pace of the early game, getting into the face of Disamas, and PSG being able to fall back towards strong team fighting and pick-orientated plays.
Okay, Disamas is hanging around nearby, so is Morteus. Miru also around the area. Here comes Boal. It's the Ornhorn. Karsa's in a little bit of danger, and so is Woody. Now Miru's found Maple off to the side. The Drake is stolen away by Disamas. Boal's in the pit with everybody. Betty's going to be the target, but over the wall goes Boal, and now Woody's ready to follow. Boal is next to die. Betty low, but safe for now. Ash is cooking everybody, and Morteus is down. PSG find exactly what they wanted.
Poking his nose in here towards the Rift Herald, but I don't think you really get to do what you want here. More just window shopping at what he wishes he could have as the rest of VKS start to move down towards his bottom side. Aja reading that well, moving up towards the mid, making sure that he's not going to get dove anytime soon. The thought process with Lies, they want to pick Maple though.
Yeah, they're going in after him. He wants to go between worlds, but immediately the crash down with the shield is ready to lock him up. He's surviving for a very long time, but the Comet Spear finds his back. He starts on a ward.
They needed to match the reset from Trimby, who'd gone back for the wards, but topside plays.
Oh yeah, they're just going to make the move onto Aja instead. They even sent the True Shot Barrage over the top. They wanted to make sure he was dead.
Great equalizer from Aja though, because it may have prevented that top lane turret from going down. Betty.
Okay, Betty under pressure, but he's still fine for now. Trimby only slowed by the Solar Flare. Heals back up with the Redemption. They are trying to protect that tower, like you say, the equalizer with his dying breath. Continuing to apply the pressure as Miru puts the damage into the tier 1 turret up there in the top lane. And VKS, despite the advantage of PSG in the game so far, they will trade the second Drake for PSG in a really bad situation for the rest of the game. But a TP's coming in. PSG could be in a little bit of danger here. At least Woody could, as Boal jumps in, slams his head straight into the wall, slams Woody straight into the grave. VKS picking up a kill. Seeing this objective as the Herald is summoned up here in the mid lane. The charge will not kill the turret on its own, but the auto attacks to follow up will. PSG on the approach. Woody does not have a teleport to try to join up here. Aj is going to be your target. They want to full send it. They kill him before the redemption comes in. VKS take out the enemy top laner. They got a 5v3 for now, but remember that Woody is on the way. 5v4 yet again. The 4 are just different this time.
Yes. Starting the fight to find a pick, and then they run like all hell away. Make sure you can't do anything about it. Like, point in case.
There it is, another grand Starfall with Boal tanking the turret. Aj is going to be in some danger, and Disamas kills him before I finish my sentence. Boal on this Ornn. Last time I checked, the abilities do not cast when one is dead in League of Legends, unless you're playing
I think you got that right, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got...
I'll check the wiki, though.
Aja is back on the map. He's coming back out here, and this Otacon is not dying particularly fast.
Trimby snuck his way into the bush, though. This could be a massive engage from the VKS support. PSG, they want to try and contest.
They're going to step forward. Betty's your target. Crashdown only finds Woody. They want to full send it. Woody's not dead here just yet, but they're going to find a lot of damage onto Maple. Karsa into the back line. Miru's already down. It's a massive play coming out from PSG. They found 2. VKS overplay their hand. And it's PSG with a huge punish, and they're set up to maybe take the Otacon now. The Redemption's going to top off the health bars. PSG are right back in it.
Finally, PSG find the team fight that they needed, but still VKS, they aren't done yet. They're going to try and turn on to Aja.
Okay, Aja takes a big chunk of damage, but really, it's not enough. Boal, Morteus, and Disamas trying to do everything they can to fight for this Otacon. Trimby's engage, botched, ends up being the big change in this game. For all that we praised him in the previous game, the Thornbound Otacon has found its way into PSG's pockets, and the Rel pincer attack, the blunder, going too early after Betty. PSG see their moment, they punish, and they're right back in the driver's seat.
Trimby had the unsealed spellbook smite and was hoping beyond hope that he might be able to get that steal.
after everything happened in that fight. Now VKS looking for another one. They're going to go in on Karsa. They take him low, but they won't take him down. True shot barrage over the top. Karsa still alive. Aja still alive. Trimby down first. Now it's turning around yet again. Miru flashing away, looking to escape from Betty as Maple's now going to be your next target, and he is gone. Desamas in the back line, staying alive for now, but Karsa barely hangs on too. It's 2 dead on the side of VKS, but VKS still chasing PSG. He has been the primary target for VKS the entire game.
Ezreal just to check the Baron. That side of the map looking very, very dark for VKS, and Boal might be getting lights out here as well. As the engage comes through, Redemption tries to keep him alive.
Yep, they're just going to take down the Ornn. For as tanky as he was earlier, the damage between Aja and Karsa is so much. You've got Guardian Angel on Karsa now as well. With Bloodletter's Curse on Aja, it's so easy to burn through that magic resistance. Excuse me. The dive comes through. Desamas under pressure. Miru under more. Aja takes the kill. And PSG have taken both enemy solo laners off the table. All the way in VKS's favor up until the fateful Otacon fight. And that's really where everything just completely shattered for VKS's side. All right, this is it. VKS probably has about one more chance here. Tibbers, I mean, it's dropped on Karsa and Woody, but what does that do? There's nobody else nearby, nobody in the neighborhood to follow up. Karsa full sends it. He knows he's got Guardian Angel. It doesn't matter if he dies. Miru and Morteus both just burning away. Betty dominating on that Varus as Boal goes in. Rams his head into nothing. Desamas and Morteus firing back here a little bit as Maple tries to put the pressure onto the Ezreal. He can't quite kill him here just yet. Morteus firing off the Mystic shots, but PSG have killed everybody else, and Baron will be their prize.
It's the missing shots from VKS as Maple fishes for one more, but it's PSG that have got that Baron. And you called it in the fight, Flowers. There was just not enough damage to come through onto Karsa, and Aja's ultimate was perfect in that fight.
The Guardian Angel does what Guardian Angel was designed to do. It gives Karsa the opportunity to jump in there full crazy, give himself as the initiation.
If you just don't get these leads, it's just not working out for you. And unfortunately, with the way things have gone, VKS did find some picks to get back into the game, but it just hasn't been enough. And PSG Talon, with this Baron, starting to siege on towards the inhibitor turrets.
10,000 gold lead, Dragon Soul, Baron. This should be just about everything they need. It's one final attempt coming out from VKS. Betty's low, but low's not good enough because the counterattack from PSG arrives. It's Maple grabbing the first kill. Desamas trapped behind enemy lines. Miru's already down here too as Morteus tries to escape, but Maple's just throwing out twofold hexes. He's already got himself a double kill. PSG have cleared 4 of them off the rift, and they don't lose a single man.
And now with that minion wave starting to conga line its way in, PSG gonna try and push us now to 1-1.
It looks like we are going the full distance for both series here today, Dagda. PSG, not to be caught unaware, not to go down without a fight, will slam back here in game number 2. They will take out VKS and have one more shot to stay alive here at Worlds.
You've got Nocturne and Akali, 2 assassins that really want to be able to decimate this backline in PSG Talon, and you have the potential to do it, but if you start to fall behind, that becomes very difficult to do so. But on PSG Talon, I just think it's much easier to execute. You're hovering barely out of vision. This is so good from Desamas.
Desamas is going to Karsa. Karsa, he throws out the Duskbringer, immediately finds the dog. He's hungry for a little bit of a hot dog lunch. Karsa flashes away. Desamas, Duskbringer first blood level 1.
Revenge is a dish best served as a cold owl hot dog as Desamas manages to pick off Karsa.
And Desamas wisely dropping his ward inside that brush, wants to make sure that Karsa can't play around this, as immediately the fear already connects. Trimby coming up to try to help Desamas. Karsa is low, Desamas is lower. Trimby trying to get the kill there. They finally take out Karsa, but now it's going to be a bloodbath, and it's VKS in trouble. Betty's still getting away. Miru needs one more hit. He gets it. The feat of warfare secured by PSG by a split second, and it's a 4-3 game, 4 minutes into the game. Longer than even it would normally be.
It really is, and it just sets you up so nicely. But Karsa now just hit level 6 as he got into the pit, so that Maple Karsa combo could start to come alive if VKS end up overextending just a little bit. Don't have the Poppy in position to try and block that combo for PSG Talon.
Exactly. Neither one of the top laners has their teleport available to try to join this fight. Desamas wants to step forward and at least try to smite one of the grubs away. He will get the single one. Paranoia has already been cast. Miru tries to move forward, but the Feather Storm already flies out. Void grubs overall secure by the side of PSG. Desamas wants to jump in, but Betty's going to stay safe. The barrier isn't even needed as Miru's the next target here for Karsa. He keeps himself invulnerable for an extra second and jumps back over the wall. Now Bowal's going to be your next target. He has to flash away. PSG over to the first Drake. They'll have the Scuttle Crab right next to it as a side dish, and it doesn't look like anybody from VKS has anything to say about it. PSG going to secure their second objective of the game.
And as you already said, Maple is so accelerated in this game.
That means it hits 10 stacks and you get that huge power spike at Otacon, which is where we see so many bloodbaths, so many throws, and Miru now pulled back by the shockwave, having to use the ulti defensively to get himself away. And with Woody's help, Maple just continues finding himself in great positions in this game. Karsa wants to jump in with the ulti, but Trimby's here to try to protect Miru. PSG, they have more men in the area, but it's not going to stay that way for long. Maple caught up here in the Tempered Fade. Miru looking for a little bit more. Boal has joined, and so has Morteus. It's everybody from VKS. Maple's already down, and it looks like VKS wants a little bit more. Keeper's verdict, knocking one away. Aja needs some damage back, and he goes all out to find Miru. Betty still safe for now. Karsa trapped in the pit, but can just jump right over pretty easily. Morteus still chasing, maybe an Arc of Ruin. No, nothing more to find. 5 minutes till both the Rift Herald and the second Drake spawn. Whenever those timers are synced up, it does make things a little bit interesting as Betty's forced to use the Feather Storm there. The exhaust from the Summoner Spellbook from Trimby, putting the pressure on the enemy AD carry. But now PSG's coming around from the side. Trimby's gonna pay the price, taken low, taken out. Nice moves coming in from PSG, but Miru wants one back. He's exhausted, but Karsa chases him too far, and it's a 1-for-1 trade.
VKS are responding well to the PSG plays.
Fights go. If he can knock out multiple players from PSG, turn a fight into a 3v5, then you got some serious danger. Desamas just flies in like a ballistic missile to take out Betty, who still had half cooldown remaining on his Feather Storm. Morteus with the Arc of Ruin to slow down Karsa. The Tempered Fate to lock him up further, but they don't have enough damage. He gets away with the Blast Cone for now, and Morteus hits him with a couple more orbs.
Finished off here for VKS right before that objective spawns.
Stride Breaker done for Nocturne is absolutely massive. The active part of this item is so helpful for securing your Paranoia kills, and Morteus just gets obliterated. Nice pick from PSG. Here continues stacking those objectives. However, that also means they're going to secure themselves the boots. They've already got 2 neutrals. That'll be their third, so it's feats of strength for the PSG side.
He can freeze his wave so no extra pressure can come towards him.
All right, Maple just continuing the shove out there. Desamas wants to jump in, but the problem is it's 2v3 right now. Miru continuing to jump forward, and Maple is down. Woody and Karsa now trying to get away. Miru's got to be careful to not be stunned up underneath the turret. Karsa still running. Morteus from the side jumps in point-blank range for the Arc of Ruin, and Karsa, he flashes too late. He's already down. Trimby goes forward, but they don't even need the stun. It's a double kill for Morteus. The Yunara shows him what he's got.
The VKS playbook of playing pick after pick after pick is still alive in this game number 3, and PSG Talon are struggling to keep pace. He's so strong, but even taking this mid lane structure could be fantastic. Morteus taking the... Oh, hang on.
Wow, yeah,
Miru's on the way.
Tempered Fate and everything. Miru's making his way over. Here's Paranoia. It's Desamas, level 11 with the extra range of the Nocturne. Flying in, 2 already dead on the PSG side. Betty flashes away. Miru's in the smoke. Another 5-point strike to try to whittle Betty away.
Pushed out of Worlds by this region. But here, VKS fighting back. 4.5k gold lead. Rift Herald in their pockets. And with 20 minutes just around the corner, they're opening up in this mid wave. They have the Rift Herald, but they don't need to use it here. PSG Talon are just spread thin.
Yeah, even though the grubs did overall go to PSG, you've still got the 1 grub for that extra little bit of sizzle and spice on the turrets. But Miru is moving through the enemy jungle. He's setting himself up on the flank. Maple's about to face check into the Akali, but no, he throws the ball in instead. The lights are going off. Desamas is going in. The feathers have already flown. And now it's a little bit of danger for Desamas, but Miru jumps into the back line. Karsa trying to get away, but a nice Tempered Fate there onto the enemy support. Woody is locked up, and Karsa's already down. It's 2 kills for nothing for VKS. Aja gonna be your next target here. Cassante is tanky, but he's not tanky enough. They'll slam him back into the wall. They'll knock him down. Miru's on a rampage, and VKS just murdered 3 of them.
Disamus is the feint, while Miru is the hook that's following up behind it. Trimby manages to catch Betty.
Betty's down. Beautifully done from VKS. Every time Disamus uses his ultimate, Betty immediately feather storms defensively to not get caught out. But that just means that as long as VKS can find that follow-up punch you're talking about, the Xayah is a sitting duck.
It's the dragon taken for VKS. And so much more in that fight. The gold firmly in their favor, control in their favor, but PSG, they're TPing in. Adakan is it. If you have this push in mid with the tier 2 tower already gone, you always have Disamus when that ultimate is available, who can shift over towards this top side. And Miru is just sitting in the back line waiting for the engage.
Exactly, Miru is always on the pincer. VKS want to try to take down this tier 1 turret before they really try to force anything hard. There's immediately your Tempered Faithfulness Keeper's verdict. Now they're diving in the carries, they're both dead! Maple and Betty are out of the picture, and Miru's still hungry for more. Karsa, Woody, and Aja all have to scatter as the carries get assassinated. Perfectly coordinated there. Keeper's verdict takes out the supportive roster. Tempered Fate locks up the turret so they can make the dive, and then they jump in. Maple and Betty die before there's anything they can do about it.
VKS just kicked in the front door and said, do you really think you're safe here? The golden key to take them down. The Adakan is theirs, the towers are falling, and it looks like VKS have found a way to take down PSG Talon. Going so well for VKS, he's now just opting to turn that needlessly large rod into a Rabadon's Death Cap instead, because he never had to burn that safety tool. But Disamus might need to get out of here.
Bit of a hard time here with a couple of auto attacks, but now backing towards the safety of his own tier 1 turret. Stun onto Karsa. Boal going to be your target here from Betty and the rest of PSG. Keeper's verdict wants to knock somebody away, but he's stunned up into the wall instead. Disamus already exhausted. Nice blade caller there. Forces the flash of the VKS jungler. Disamus is down. PSG, they've locked up Miru. They force him into the stasis. The Akali's in danger, but he jumps back away with a shuriken flip. PSG have found 1 kill and nearly a second. Miru is still on the run. Betty has no summoners to try to chase. Maple's got his flash, but Miru is still running. Karsa over the wall. He wants to try to catch this enemy mid laner. This could be the opportunity PSG needs to come back into the game. Trimby buying time. Magical journey over the wall. Morteus firing out the Arc of Triumph. Now Trimby flashes. Stays alive for now. Keeper's verdict channeled again. Morteus just firing back into the PSG lines. Miru jumps in, and now Betty's in danger. He goes for the Feather Storm, but VKS turn it right back around. Miru finally dies. Maple's getting away now. Aja with a nice third and Tofo strike, putting the pressure onto Trimby, who gets away through the Adakan wall. Now Boal scrapping with Aja back and forth. Maple barely standing. Disamus has respawned. By the time he gets close to the fight, he'll have the paranoia.
As his Rabadon's Death Cap now complete onto Maple. It is a second dragon for VKS though, which makes these assassins much more durable as they jump into the back last fight. They don't have what it needs to carry this through. It is an 8k gold lead, but we are fast approaching full items.
And now immediately Disamus jumps in after Karsa. The fear has already been applied and the dog is in danger. Trimby takes him out. Betty's your next target. Feather Storm already used and Miru is rooted up. He uses the second half of the ulti to get away, but it's a massive shockwave coming in from Maple. Aja jumps forward into the front line, but he's taking a ton of damage. Glacial Fissure to try to protect the escape route. As more damage pours into Aja's health bar, but he goes all out onto Boal. Aja looking to make his escape. A little bit more damage from the top laner is not going to be enough here just yet. VKS, they kill the enemy jungler. Boal has to flash to try to get away. Another slam into the ground here with a Q. Boal is in danger. Where's the backup from VKS? PSG fighting for their lives. Boal stays alive. Aja and Woody about to die outside of the base. And Maple is the only man standing. VKS! They ace him!
VKS have done it! VKS have found their moment with that magical journey into the base. It might be a magical moment to keep their dreams alive at Worlds 25.
Karsa, the only man standing. He's the one who died first. He has to try to defend here. He jumps in to find a single kill, but he will now drop. The Guardian Angel is the only thing to fall for Desamas. Nobody else is alive on PSG. This is Brazil! And VKS stay alive at Worlds 25.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.